Okay guys, it's been a while, so I thought I'd do another video considering I got a new cell phone, which is actually a lot better quality than my other one, so I can finally start making videos again. Yay! Today I thought I'd start with a simple little carp fly, or largemouth bass fly, smallmouth, whatever. It's kind of basically a pine squirrel damsel fly nymph. It's very simple to tie. Only takes very few materials, so let's get started. In the vise I have a size 6 Partridge long boilie hook for carp. I've also tied these in size 8 and size 10, just whatever you want to do. Go ahead and start your thread. This is just some brown olive UTC 140. You can also use 70 if you want. Start a little ways back from the eye of the hook. Make a little thread ball for your eyes to sit on. You could also build this up with dubbing or anything like that, but I just use thread. Now you're going to want some medium bead chain eyes. These happen to be a lime green, or chartreuse maybe they're called, but it's basically a lime green. Put those right in front of that bump you just created, so it'll kind of situate itself there and not move. A lot of people are kind of paranoid, if you will, about securing stuff with super glue for carp because they have really good noses and stuff, senses. I really don't know if that's true or not, but to appease all those type people, just make sure your eyes are very nice and secure and they're not going to go anywhere, even without super glue. So now work your way back. I like to go just a little way up the bend of the hook like this. Okay, and now work your way back. That just lays a little foundation. Next, go ahead and get some medium UTC Ultrawire. This happens to be a olive color. This is going to be your ribbing to help secure everything together, make it a lot more durable. You could skip this step if you want to. It's just more additional durability, can't hurt anything, right? So go ahead and secure this all the way down to where you started at the bend back here. Okay, next, find some kind of dubbing. I have been using this remix dub. It's a new product. The guy who makes it on Instagram is at DC Ohio and at Flannels, Flasks, and Flies. This stuff is really good. Why I like it on this pattern is because it's a pine squirrel dubbing base with just a right amount of little flash and guard hairs and everything. It's a really buggy dubbing, and it kind of serves, it just blends perfectly because obviously this is called the pine squirrel damsel. So go ahead and put a little bit on. You don't really need to create a kind of taper or anything. It's mostly just an underbody. We'll work on the taper a little bit later when we get towards the head, but for the most part the eyes provide the bulkiest part of this fly. So just dub this around sort of even. You could build a slight taper up towards the head if you'd like, just like I'm doing right here. It's okay if it gets a little loose, we're gonna brush it all out anyway. At this point, right behind the bead chain, you're going to need some kind of CDC. This happens to be the Polish CDC, which I've actually been quite fond of, honestly. The length is pretty good and very consistent, more so than, say, you know, the Montana Fly bulk pack. That's hit or miss. Not to bash them or anything, but I mean, if you've gotten a box like the bulk CDC box from them, you kind of understand that really only about 15% of that is usable. So I'd like to tie this in tips first, and what this is going to do is provide kind of the gills and or leggy type things of the damselfly. And I don't know why, but they didn't want to work right there, so I just had to tie one extra one in. So there's 2 CDC feathers on here. I guess because I'm talking and not really paying attention. Anyway, back to the remix dub. Go ahead and make a nice little noodle again. Here you're going to want to just be just a hair thicker than you were on the rest of the body, because kind of bugs taper towards the heads, if you will. So go ahead and wind this on. Just make a nice little ball right behind the eyes for the CDC, and keep your head right behind the eyeballs, just like that. Now take your CDC and wrap it just 2 or 3 times. That's all you need. Less is more. Okay. Secure that nice and tight and cut away the excess. Now we're looking fairly buggy, so get some Velcro and let's go ahead and tease all this out. And we're going to revisit this part later. I mean, in and of itself, that fly will catch fish, as stupid and ugly as that is, but to turn this into a damselfly, we need to get some pine squirrel. I buy the full Zonkers. They sell these at Fly Fish Food. Pretty much anywhere sells these things now, I believe, but that's where I get the majority of my materials from. So anyway, the way I measure this is for the end of the hook to the start of the bend of the hook, that would be 1. Same thing again, 2. So essentially 2 lengths of the hook is all you need. Cut that off, and now we're going to give this a little haircut. I just like to leave a little tuft right at the back, and I just simply take some scissors and trim off the rest. You don't want to go all the way to the hide. Just leave it so it's kind of consistent color and length. You could easily save this for making your own dubbing if you'd like. I just haven't really experimented with that yet, but maybe eventually we'll get there. So anyway, now you got your tail measured. You want it sticking past the hook about right in the middle of that strip you just caught. So find the midpoint and slide it right over the hook point. And you have to do this fairly slowly just to prevent the thing from ripping, because it's very small. So remove your hook and slowly put it over the barb and insert the hook back, just like this. Now separate the leg material, or the CDC, down both sides of the fly. Grab the tag end of the Zonker and fold it over. And this is going to create basically the rest of the body. Go ahead and wrap a thread wrap and get it all situated where you want it. Untrap all the fibers and tie it down. Now you'll notice it is a little bit longer than you need, and I do that on purpose because it's a lot easier to work with this tag end out here, believe me. Go ahead and trim away the waist, and now we can rib the body. Since we wrapped our dubbing this direction, wrapped our CDC this direction, we're going to counter wrap this over the Zonker strip. This is going to provide the most durability. So just take your time, make sure you don't trap anything. Just like this. If you do trap stuff, it's quite alright. I mean, we're going to brush this out anyway, and we're going to be good to go. Okay, just like this. And I like to go around the eyes as well. I don't really know why I do that, I just always do. Go ahead and tie all this off and remove your wire. Do not use your good scissors. Simply pull down on your thread and helicopter until it comes right off. Okay, now that that's done, I have some loose fibers everywhere, but that's quite all right. Back to your Velcro, and now let's fluff this all out again. You don't have to spend a lot of time on this. It'll basically fix itself once you begin fishing it. So it just looks good for the pictures because that's all that matters, right? Okay. Now for the next part, for like sort of the shell backy type deal, find some ostrich herl. Or peacock herl, I mean. Epic fail. So try to make them about roughly the same length, and you're gonna see it has all this white garbage at the bottom. I just like to get rid of that because we just don't need that. Put it right on top. I'd say this is probably 6 or 7 or 8 strands or so. Yeah. Okay, that's gonna look good. And now back to the remix dubbing. And this is simply just to go around the eyes, just to cover up all that thread, and just continue the body proportions and colors and all that good stuff. Good thing about this dubbing is it dubs on really nicely. It has very little synthetics in it, and just the natural furs like to cooperate a lot better than, say, a similar dubbing with, you know, more synthetic materials inside of it. Nothing wrong with it, it's just easier to use. So fold your peacock over that little third ball that you just made, or the dubbing ball, and catch it right behind the eye. Now peel this stuff up and catch the eye, just like this. Nice and secure, and trim away the tag ends just like this, and save that stack for more flies because you're going to use it. And you could clean around the eye of the hook. It doesn't necessarily matter. Build a decent little thread head up there, grab a whip finish tool and finish it up. And now we're looking pretty done. So I hope you like it, guys. This thing absolutely slays pretty much a lot of every fish in my area. I've caught catfish on this, of course bass, carp. Give it a try. Thank you.